All right, we are streaming live on Facebook. And so I'm wrapping up. This is our last segment of the Day of Light and Love. We've been streaming live for almost 24 hours throughout Christmas Day, starting at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, early today. And every other hour, we have had conversations that have just been amazing. And it's only fitting that our last contributor should be Ivonne Delaflor. This is someone who I very highly esteem. I've learned so much from her, and I continue to learn so much from her. And I know that the conversation that we're going to have this evening, which is going to be, we're going to be talking about 2020, what it gave us, and what it's birthing into the brilliant future. And before we get into that conversation, I would love, if you would, Ivonne, if you would just introduce yourself. There may be people who have not met you, and boy, are they in for a treat. So please take over, give us a little background on who you are, and then I can't wait for this conversation.
Well, first, before I introduce myself, I just want to thank you, because this is the 4th year that I have the privilege to be here in I call it the festival. It's turning to be this incredible portal of manifestation and creation every year, growing and everything of light and love. So I was there when you birthed it, and just to be growing with you in this evolution of the festival is just a great honor for me. Number 2, I'm in awe that this is like the marathon of love and light. You know, I'm in awe of every speaker that has shared. We've been listening to the replays here. We've been working here where I'm at, besides having family Christmas and doing the mom life and everything. And it's just incredible, the ability of heart-opening leadership that all the contributors have been sharing from, and your ability to stay present every moment on this marathon of light and love. So I'm super honored to be here. I feel really privileged and really humbled. And now about me, you know, the bio, so much to say about what I do, very little to say about who I am, because, you know, when it comes to who I am, I just will go into stillness and gratitude. But what I do and what I've done as a human being to prepare myself for this moment, you know, I'm the creator of a system called Transcendental Rebirthing, which is systemic work, shadow work, trauma integration. Since 2006, I've been serving thousands of people heal from trauma, from birth trauma, family trauma, integrating modalities of family constellation, shadow work, body language, and just to support people to move forward and to understand that the past is not an enemy. It's a place, it's a past, it's a place of reference, not of residence. So that's one of the things. Another thing that I've done, I'm an author. I published more than 17 books in English and Spanish, and actually one is in Estonia, Lithuania, I guess in Estonian too. And I've been publishing books. I've been a philanthropist for more than 20 years now. Actually, I became a businesswoman later in my 40s, and I became a philanthropist early in my 20s. So I've been doing it in reverse mode of what the world usually does, that's why I'm a futurist too. I'm a trainer of trainers, futuring of a system that I have news to share, but that you also have been studying for the past years. You know, I've been privileged to pass on the teaching that I received from my mentors of that to you that are already a futurist, but I'm a trainer of trainers. And I've been doing these modalities since 2004. I started studying it, and I certified on everything, which is a system that helps people really, I'm gonna just simplify it, master the use of their subconscious mind, their words, and also the use of the perception of time. It's kind of, in leadership, we call it reverse engineering, or thinking with the end in mind. with this, we create with the end in mind, the end being the beginning. So it's kind of, it's a wordsmith work. It's just beautiful work. I'm also a graduate of hypnotherapy, Ericksonian hypnotherapy. I'm a singer, author, producer, just produced a film that you've been witnessing my, I've been like a baby, like finding my way through the producing of film, philanthropic film called The United States of Mind. I've helped thousands of people birth their programs, their life missions, birth their names of the programs, their content, their books. I'm a birther, a doula, and I'm a life mastery mentor. Plus, I'm a mom. That's one of my best roles, which is to be a mother and a life mastery mentor, a student, eternal student, and really a lover of humanity. Not all of the time, lover of the behaviors of humans, neither myself, but truly a lover of God and humanity. So that's a little bit of me, because I could share a lot and, it'd be like the Oscars, and I don't want to go there, but that's a little bit about me.
Right. Well, should we talk about 2020 and what it gave us and what it's birthing into the brilliant future?
Yes, and please let me know about timing, because once I get into the topics, I go into a zone and time, but 2020, and I'm just, after listening to everybody sharing, by the way, I love all the sisters and all the acquaintances and beautiful friends that shared, but I'm going to refer right now to Angelica Diaz, who started the festival, right? She started the Festival of Light and Love with faith. And so 2020 has been a synonym of faith. And the reason why, the first thing I'm going to share that, is because nobody knew what was happening. Even though we think we know, really no one really knows what's going to unfold. It was a call to action to our faith. It was a call to action to our hearts, to our minds, and to our ability as human beings to adapt. And that adaptation call was the push, the impulse of evolution, the natural pulse of God, of natural order, to prompt all of us human beings to shake up our old beliefs, to park our old pasts, and to really tap into the powers of the human spirit. It's been an incredible invitation, because it's been challenging. It's been, for some, it's been heartbreaking for many. It's also have been a place of incredible creations and openings. I've created more this year than in the past decades. I was just reviewing that. I was like, when I myself, I went into a zone of either I created or I survived. And I am such a believer of becoming a creator, of using the lot that God gave us, which can be called accidents, can be called problems, can be called drama, can be called dharma. Whatever the lot we're giving every moment is an opportunity for us to use that lot and really turn our problems, our life situations into a masterpiece as an offering to God. So 2020, all of that I said, I'm going to summarize the call to action. It's been a call to action for humanity as individuals and as a collective to emerge, to exit the emergency mentality. It's like I just created the higher self of the victimization. In our past, everyone, well, most people and most psychology and spiritual traditions have been talking about the victim role and the victimization. I think that's eradicated already. I think now that the conversations got to go into how can I exit emergency mode, my amygdala overactive, I got to defend myself. There's enemies out there. There's people that I need to compete to. How can we exit that old drama and enter into a new dharma, enter into the new abilities that we have to emerge instead of live in consistent emergency. And emergence is the symbol that comes to me right now is the lotus flower, which has been an ancient symbol in Sanskrit and in Hindu traditions of spirituality, where the lotus, and Buddhism too, represents enlightenment, represents evolution, represents unfoldment. And isn't that what God is doing every moment? Isn't that what the universe is showing us? Isn't that what the birth of a child represents? The falling in love, the uplifting in love, romance, coming from death and rebirthing hope. Isn't that what humanity is being called forth right now, to unfold like the lotus from the mud? That's the only flower that really flowers so beautiful and unfolds so powerfully from the mud. And I think 2020 was like the mud that we needed as human beings to make new decisions, to begin to use our God-given powers, to ignite the power of our faith, to use the power of our words, of our feelings, of our thoughts and our actions aimed to collective and individual emergence instead of emergency. So I feel, and I truly believe, and I'm watching it in my life and on the lives of the people I serve and I learn from, there's an emergence. And there is this emergence for some reason, Dr. Jeanne. I feel, even though I'm a participant of that, I'm also a recipient of that. It's kind of, I don't have to do it. I don't have to hustle for it. I just got to do the work of the lot that I have been given, that I've received, and do the best that I can in that and even a little more. But at the same time, I believe that the era of the hustle is over. I believe that the era of magnetizing and attracting just naturally by doing what we are meant to be doing and being who we truly are, it's just going to take us into this emergent mode, which one of my teachers, Barbara Max Hubbard, used to say, the human based on love will emerge. And after that, the universal human will be born. So I'm just feeling that right now. So hopefully
Wow. Yes. Wow. Wow. I love the forecast that you're providing here. I think it's, it resonates with me very, very much. And I do think that there are people maybe listening or watching the replay that maybe they can't grasp all of it, but there's some parts of it that they can start, that the progression of working and doing the best that they can, maximizing the potential within whatever the burden, the package, the story, whatever it is that they've received called their life, and start to move forward. Do you have, can you speak to that person that maybe isn't quite on the path all the way?
Well, I believe that everything, everyone is living their own, we all are experiencing simultaneous realities. Like you are over there, I'm over here in Las Vegas, the people that are listening to us. And I believe that everyone is in the right place for the path they must walk and for the part they must play in this incredible tapestry of the human spirit. Like, I couldn't do me without you, Dr. Jeanne. Like everyone, wherever you are at right now, that's the place where you got to be. And trying to not be where you are at is an illusion. Ooh. But instead, if you are where you are at, and if you say, I'm right now in sadness, or I'm in joy, or I'm challenged by finances, or it's challenging right now, I don't understand these words or something, that's exactly where you gotta be. So when you stop fighting with your reality, you begin to be creator of more of the realities that you want. So the first thing that I will say is accept where you are at. That doesn't mean stay where you are at. That's just accept where you are at, and then take one step forward, which will take you Godwards. Whoever walks forward, it's being pulled by the invisible hand of God. It's being pulled by the natural ebb and flow of natural law of evolution. Evolution is always in motion. There's no evolution without motion. So wherever you are at, take that one little step, call that one friend, read that one page of a book, take one more step when you're going to do fitness, drink one more glass of water, give yourself one more minute of grace, meditate or be in silence for 1 minute. Little by little, the single steps, they are called the baby steps, right? It will take you from not knowing where you are at to knowing where you're at, to feeling where you are going, and to enter this incredible realm of the divine, where a lot of people say, like, how do they create all these miracles? How do they create so much expansion and success? It's not that they create it, it's that they receive it. They just do their work one step at a time, being who they are. And success moves you towards it instead of you trying to reach it.
That's beautiful. Now, how about for the person who is much farther in that process?
Well, it's the same. It's the same.
Is there a calling here? Is the Brilliant Future calling those of us who have been on the path and have been doing the work? Is it calling us to step forward and step up?
Well, I love you. I love my conversations with you. You always say these conversations with you are God conversations. They are future conversations. They are like, you are always opening portals, Dr. Jeanne. But one thing that I do believe is that anyone that has done the work for many years, or that has really been disciplined, because you got to do the work, it's no brainer right now. You know, you got to do the work, the inner and outer work. Words or just facade work is not the work. That's just survival mode. You got to do the work. You got to. And those of any of us who have done this work, who have embodied the work, like yourself, Dr. Jeanne, who have the ability to understand, keep learning, right? Keep being humble in the path, but keep learning, understand, embody, and apply the knowledge that we've learned. We have more responsibility than anybody else to keep teaching, guiding, working, and passing on this wisdom, or this learned wisdom from experience, to others that are just taking their first baby steps in the path.
Yes.
So it's never, we don't become rescuers, but it's a responsibility. Never before in time, and the Brilliant Future, we'll speak about it in a moment, has leadership been more needed than now. And unapologetic leadership, that you don't even care for the title. You just lead because it's a duty to deal with the cards. You see, lead, if you change the words, is deal. Deal with the cards that God is giving you. Deal with the cards that are happening right now, and trust that the ship of leadership, where God is in charge of that ship, and you are going to be a captain, you know, navigating these times, you got to lead. You got to be that captain of the boat. You have to help people cross rivers that they don't know if they can swim or not. And you also, in this leadership modality, as we grow in responsibility, we gotta let people do their work too. You know, for them to enter this brilliant future that we're going to talk about it in a moment. So hope this makes sense.
It does. It's fantastic. Can we talk about the Brilliant Future?
Yes. So I believe 2020 was so there's 4 qualities of future that you and I have been speaking about this, and that I learned with my teachers of futuring. There's many qualities, but the main qualities of the way we are all creating our reality and our futures. And I think this conversation is now highly accepted globally in the community, right? Before it was Wayne Dyer, or in spirituality, that you will say you create your reality, and people will be like, oh, run, New Agers, they're lighting up the incense, run away. But now it's everywhere. I've seen it in people that are entrepreneurs, in corporate businesses. They are like, we are all creating a reality. So I'm going to assume that the people that are listening to this, that we all understand that we are creating a reality, at least our individual realities. And in these creations of realities, we have different ways to create it, different qualities. One is dark, going into deep fear, going into deep, you know, kind of terroristic mode. Number two is dim, which is whatever, they said it, the blame culture, the victimization culture mentality, which I'm so excited to say that that future is like dying. Futures die. Futures die, everyone. So I think it's just disappearing. And that's why it has been so painful, because we have identified, many of us, not all of us, with the culture of victimization for so many years. The businesses have profit from that, from probing for pain, from hustle and sacrifice. I feel that that's fading. And eventually in 20 years, we're going to say, like, remember when, you know, our ancestors believed in that? So that's one. The other one is bright, which is something that takes the lives of so many of our entrepreneurs and business people. It's called the bright future, where you hustle, hustle, hustle. You go chasing success. You go chasing for status quo, for identity based on what you do instead of who you are. And that's beautiful. It has a right to exist. But, you know, on 2020, those bright futures collapsed. The bright future was, what university did you graduated from? Right now it's like, what type of homeschool are you going through? The bright future is how much money you got in the bank, and now, how much Bitcoin, you know, and how much untangible assets do you have right now? So if you can see, Dr. Jean, the bright future and the dim future are kind of like beginning to disappear. And now we have the brilliant future. And I always refer to these people with this. The brilliant future is when people there, like Dr. Jean, you created something from the brilliant future, the Festival of Light and Love. And you wanted to start with light and not love. You had to create something that didn't exist into our present moment. Anna Frank, you know, protecting all the Jewish people from all the Hitler time, and being 14 years old, being able to exit the mentality, the modalities of how people think, and doing something different. Gandhi, you know, fighting without weapons, bringing ahimsa as a weapon for liberating India. Martin Luther King, freedom. So these are ways of thinking that do not fit the system. So that's the brilliant future. It doesn't fit the concept of time. It doesn't fit the concept of the media. It doesn't fit any system at all. And that's why it's hard to understand it, but it's the birthplace of joy. It's the birthplace of support. It's the birthplace of the we. It's the womb of God.
The brilliant future is the birthplace of joy. Oh, that resonated so much. So much. It's really so true. I think that the brilliant future calls us to create newly. And based on our perceptions, based on our gifts, based on our experiences, based on our arrival to this moment. And when you were talking about bright and the bright kind of shifting and falling away, I think when I think of the bright future, I think of it sort of like a Hollywood movie set, you know.
Totally.
Those old Western movies where you see them riding through town, but as soon as the camera's off, you realize there was nothing behind those walls. It just looked like a town. And I've lived through the glorification of the bright future. And I think that this year was very, there's a point on the timeline that we can say, we know that that's not where we want to go. We know that it does exist, but it exists as something lesser and then vaporizes when more is demanded.
Wow. I'm receiving your words. Yes, because really we have abilities to create that are like they haven't been studied yet by science. We are beings that are meant to create. We are not. One of my friends, I think his name is Gary J. White. He always says we're creators, not takers. We really come here to create. We really come here to expand, and there is no deeper joy, for me at least, and not at least, but for me, than to be a contribution to humanity, to be a contribution to your own family, to be a contribution to the person you see every day in the mirror.
Yes.
And to believe the impossible is to create the possible. And to enter really into this creation mode, it just gives us a lot of energy. That's where I get all my energy, in creator mode. When I'm not creating, when I'm just, which is rare, I got to be really like exhausted or wounded, or in my mindset maybe temporarily like taking things personal or such. I feel very bright or dim.
Yes.
But when I'm in creation mode, it's like coffee and tea. It's just a fuel, which is, I believe that's where the greatest beings that we all admire, the greatest leaders, have been fueled to create brilliant futures for humanity, have been fueled to create futures for the legacy of our future generations that, they are needed. They are so needed. So 2020 has been that call to action, and also a reminder for everyone that has the ears to hear, the eyes to see, and the heart to receive this. It's a call to action from God to everything, or to source, for those who don't like the word God. I love the word God. To really create of their life a masterpiece. This is the call to action.
Yes. And to know, because you were talking about leadership earlier, and to know that leadership is not hierarchical. Leadership is not positional. You don't have to wait for someone to give you permission to lead. You lead where you are right now with what you have. You lead and you bring a brilliant future to the ripple of your life, to those that you can touch, and that contributes to the whole in doing that. And I think that that's something that a lot of people, well, what can I do? You do. You lead yourself. And in leading yourself in the direction of the brilliant, you will inevitably lead others or inspire others to lead themselves.
Wow, so powerful. When you said the word permission, and you and I have spoken about this before, understand, for anybody listening, that a lot of us were raised with fear-based strategies, right? Our parents do, the school systems, the government, and everything. And that created an energetic field, or that created just in our brain a memory of like obedience, obeying a system that is falling apart. Yes. When right now we're being called to trust in ourselves, we're being called to tap into this, to move from permission to be promission.
Ooh.
To elevate the aspect of, I need permission from the government, I need permission from my beloved, I need permission from my children, I need permission from my mentor, I need permission. Instead of permission, because there's always going to be like a sense of, I gotta fight for my rights. I don't want to fight for my rights.
No.
I don't want to prove to anyone.
No.
I want to rise with everyone, but I don't want to prove to anyone. And I want to become a better human being. But if this serves you, and the words have power, in power, when we use power for the benefit of humanity, we unlock in the word power, there's the we. We unlock the power of the we. And if we use the words from I need permission, fear-based, to I'm promission, what does God wants me to do? What does the earth, what does my humanity, what does my own leadership, what do I need the most right now? And move from there. Eventually we will evolve from being fear-based, reactional beings into faith-fueled creational beings. I love my conversations with you.
That is amazing. I'm not sure what else to say because
Me
that,
neither.
I love the permission
Yeah,
versus
promise.
promission. You know, permission is very dim
Yeah.
and promission is very brilliant.
Brilliant. Because permission, if I go into my life when I needed permission, I had to defend, I had to fight, I had to
Yes,
prove. There's a lot of people in business that do that, right? They go and put in their biography everything because they have to prove to the world, I did this and I did this for them and I do. That's permission oriented, that's fear-based, that's defending, that's kind of like hierarchical, that's kind of
yes,
like survival based. When
yes,
I move to permission, I don't have to prove to anyone anything. I can love people more when I don't need to prove to anyone anything else. I feel
absolutely.
better as a human being. I feel more peaceful as a mother. I feel calmer as a mentor. I feel more responsible to take responsibility for my creation, for my mistakes, and it all. And the fear aspect of it begins to fade. I don't have to even relinquish fear.
No,
Faith takes over
yes,
because evolution and natural law and what God, and again, we're going back to the beginning, it shows us is that it will expand, it will evolve, it will unfold, it will birth brilliant futures because that is the nature of God.
are you leading us in a prayer?
I'm gonna close after this. I'm like, I myself have to witness what it comes through because
I
I'm
mean,
humbled.
oh my goodness.
You know, I'm humbled. Wow. So grateful to be here. Just so before I lead in everyone into a brilliant future prayer for 2021 and for, drawing from 2020, it's like blood drawing from experience. We're going to draw from 2020 everything. Instead of fear, we're going to transmute it into faith. We're going to transmute it into fuel for creation. But before that, I want to announce something publicly. I know that a lot of our sisters and a lot of my fellow students and leaders are here, but I want everybody to know that you're the first. Today you were granted by the International Futuring School the diploma. You are officially the first facilitator of the Futuring Principles. You are graduated now. So I just wanted to share it publicly
Wow.
because I just spoke to the person that he was reviewing everything. And so I wanted to bring you your diploma, but I didn't print it. So that's
Wow.
on my side. So you're the first official graduate and certified facilitator of the Futuring Principles. So
Wow.
congratulations.
Well, thank you. Wow. I'm a little shaking going on right now inside. Whoa.
Yeah, so congratulations. And now let's go into prayer together. And again, I'm super honored and, I feel blessed. This event has been a blessing for me. You have been a blessing for me. You came disguised as a student with me, but truly, I keep saying it to people. Every time you talk to me, I'm like, I'm going to learn something. And I always learn from everyone I serve, but you have come into my life as a great role model, as a call for me to deepen and clarify and purify my leadership every year more. And as I grow up older, and as I always said, hopefully wiser, it's in my heart to thank you publicly
Wow.
and privately too. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So shall we do a prayer?
Please, let's put a benediction on this most amazing event.
Thank you. So remember everyone that prayer is an intimate experience between you and the Creator, between you and Source, between you and all that is creating us, is breathing us all right now. He's reminding us that this very moment, the narrative of the past is over. Even the narrative of the future hasn't yet started. That's for you to start and begin. But we are all in this present moment. And we are all blessed by the light of love, by the festival of light and love, and by the ability that we all have to breathe this very moment here and now. So with this, we do this prayer. And with the intention that it blesses everyone into their future now, that it blesses everyone to take the lessons from 2020, not as victims, but as victors. and that we pray for our brilliant future of 2021 and the future generations here and now. So infinite divine intelligence, divine space of oneness, divine grace of God, infinite heart of omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient energies. Today we enter prayer with gratitude, with thankfulness, with a heart open, with a mind humbled into the power and the wisdom of the heart. We know now that God is in us, that infinite intelligence is breathing us, that all of our life, all the challenges, all the problems, all the darkness were nothing but the assignments of God for us to birth ourselves, our businesses, the future of our businesses, and the future for our families into brilliancy in the here and now. We have trust. We drop fear and we welcome faith. We drop mistrust and we welcome trust. We drop the fear of making decisions and we welcome our ability to be decision makers and creators in the here and now for the benefit of ourselves, of our community, of our family, and that of the human family, which is the benefit of the world. We thank you all for being present right now. We thank ourselves for being able to survive and thrive in these incredible times. And we know that our 2021 and beyond is going to be filled with blessings, with miracles, and with the ability to become deeper creators with the God energy of faith, of hope, and of love. We know this has been so. We know this will continue to be so. May this festival grow and grow every year. May the festival of love and light and love bless everyone in humanity and beyond. We know this has been so. It will continue to be so. So be it. Aho. Amen.
Thank you. Blessings to each and all. And I look forward to the brilliancy that you are creating. Much love.